Hey guys, Dan Jerseth here, and today I'm going to be talking about habits and how to build them, why to build them, what the fuck is a habit, and all that fun stuff. So first of all, I'm going to start off with what is a habit. And a lot of people overthink what habits are, and really all they are is anything that you habitually do. For example, you brush your teeth every night. That's a habit. All the way down to which hand do you grab the doorknob when you open up a door? That's a habit. It's these things you do without necessarily thinking about it. So everything you do is a habit. How I talk, how I blink, every single thing that we do subconsciously or consciously is some sort of level of habit. So why not utilize that great thing that's called subconscious brain when we're trying to get a desired outcome? For example, if we can stack habits, or we can build habits and stack them and build another habit and stack that, build another habit and stack that, we can basically shape our entire life, and it doesn't have to be hard. A lot of people think that success takes an extreme amount of discipline, which I would argue, yes, it does, but also not as much as people think. And the reason is let's say, for example, you are trying to build a habit of working out. Studies actually show that it takes about 66 days for a action to have happen 66 days in a row, for that action to now become a habit. So you just do the action, for example, brushing your teeth, without necessarily even thinking about it. And it becomes weird if you don't do it. So if you're like me, you get into bed at night, you forgot something. You forgot brushing your teeth. It's the exact same concept of, okay, I forgot to brush my teeth. It's the same concept of, oh, I didn't go to the gym today because I've been doing it for 66 days. And at this point, it's formed in me as a habit. It's instilled in me. So really, we can use that concept with pretty much anything in life, from either going to the gym or not looking at our phone so often, or whatever habit you want to think of. So for me, a couple things I'm working on in my personal life is just getting more sleep at night, because I noticed I was tired. I'd show up to work, I'd be tired, and I figured, well, how do I fix this? And I looked at it, I was like, well, it's not because I'm not sleeping well. And once I do get to sleep, I'm sleeping well. But the actual problem was I have my phone set right next to my bed on the floor, and it's very easy for me to grab that book, or not book, I wish it was a book. It's very easy for me to actually grab that phone and just start scrolling. And everybody watching this probably knows how addicting Facebook or Instagram or Snapchat or TikTok is. It's very easy to sit there and scroll for a half an hour, and before you know it, it's an hour and a half of scrolling through TikTok, right? Like I'm bad at that. So what I did is I systematically problem solved that. And at the beginning, it wasn't necessarily easy, because it is a habit of mine to bring it to bed with me and to scroll before I go to sleep. But does two things. It takes time. It takes longer for you to sleep because you've been staring at your phone this whole time, and the whole process of like actually laying in bed and trying to go to sleep. I'm scrolling through Facebook, not trying to sleep. So what I did specifically is I actually moved my phone down to the second level. I plugged that in, and I bought just a normal like digital alarm clock from Walmart for $15. So that's what I did there. So that's a pretty straightforward, simple thing. At first, it was kind of struggle, because it's very normal for me to wake up in the morning and first thing I look at is my phone. I got my alarm clock now, so I have to literally manually set my alarm clock, and I put my phone downstairs before I go to bed, and I probably on average get an extra half an hour to 45 minutes every night of sleep. And so I wanted you guys to think of, okay, yeah, that sounds great. 45 minutes, let's say half an hour of extra sleep every night. Compound that over a week. That's 3.5 hours of extra sleep that I'm not spending on my phone looking at brain junk, garbage food for your brain. That's 3.5 hours a week. Multiply that by a whole month. That's 15 hours a month approximately. Multiply that by 52 weeks a year. That is, I can't even do that math in my head. That's literally hundreds of extra hours of me getting rest, much needed rest for my brain to function better the next day. I wake up, I do better at work, I show up as a better leader, I'm a better agent, I'm better business owner. And you could do the exact same thing by instilling these little simple habits in your life, no matter what it ends up being. So another thing that I've been doing is, my goal has been to exercise 7 days a week, every single day of the week, regardless of what it is. It could be going outside and going for a walk for 20 to 30 minutes. That counts as an exercise for me. So a couple other things I've been doing is meditating right before bed every single day of the week. There's no ifs, ands, or buts, every single day. And what I do is I basically have a little calendar next to my bed. So the first thing I do when I wake up in the morning is I see in my accountability calendar, it says meditate every day, write gratitude every day, and exercise every day, and take my supplements every day. 4 things. Those are my 4 personal life things that I really want to instill into my life as habits. So I'm on a 66-day program right now, 7 days a week. I do all those things every day of the week. And how I do it, I hold myself accountable. So I have my calendar literally laid out. So it's the first, I get out of bed and it's the first thing that's right there. It's reminding me right away, oh, I got to do this. So I'll either jot down some gratitude. Normally I write gratitude in the evening and I meditate before I go to bed. Same concept, it's right there right before I go to bed. So I'm reminded, oh yeah, I got to do this. And I do it right then and there. And then I take my supplements in the morning and the exercise. So I get actually when I get back home from my workout, or when I'm about to leave for work, I check off the box that yes, I got this done. So building up that habit. And so like I said before, studies say that if you do something in a disciplined way for 66 days straight, it'll actually become a habit. And so why is that important? If we start building habits in our life, positive ones, and the same goes for eliminating habits. So if we can start eliminating habits that are not useful in our life or not going down the path we want to, we can do the exact same thing. 66-day program for eliminating that habit. For me, it was not looking at my phone before bed. So you have to make it simple for yourself. This can't be complicated. We're not as disciplined as we really think. So having accountability partners, for me, it's having gym partners I go to every day and see them. That same goes with my supplements. My gym partners hold me accountable to my supplements. Having a calendar right there. So yes, I remind myself I'm gonna feel really bad. Now that I've made it 3.5 weeks of doing all 4 of these things, I'd feel like a big dummy if I didn't check my boxes off one day, right? So it's all about building accountability within your system for actually being able to build these habits on your life. And once you build a habit, it gets easier. So the whole point is, yes, I'm disciplined. I am disciplined, but for only so many days. I'm not a superhuman. Like, I don't just show up to work. I don't wake up in the morning and I'm like the most disciplined person on earth every single day. It's just not reality. So I build habits that I do subconsciously that are just, oh, this is what I do next. This is what I do next. It's not like a mental wrestling match every single time I have to go to the gym anymore, because I just wake up and I go to the gym. It would feel weird if I didn't do that now. So that's, now think about if you can stack this on, let's say you spend the next 66 days instilling a habit into your life, one single habit, one little thing that's going to help you become a better person or move you in the direction that you want to get, right? We're all aspiring to do something, most of us are at least. And so if you can do that one thing that moves you a little bit closer to your goal of becoming that person you want to become, that's awesome. Okay, 66 days are done. That's a habit. You hold that habit accountable. You can't just let that go. Now you can start thinking about stacking habit number 2. For me, it was getting in the gym. It was number 1, and then supplements was number 2. So I go to the gym. I naturally take my supplements after I go to the gym. I'm stacking habits on top of each other now. Whoa, that's loud. Not sure if you guys can hear that. I'll wait a second. So at this point, I'm stacking habits on top of habits, which makes that second habit just slightly easier than what that first habit was. So you can kind of see here, you have a compounding effect compounding effect of success, which builds on each other. So, and the more successful you become, so like the further down the road of habit stacking you get, and the more that habit actually brings value back to you, the more you want to do it, the more habits you want to instill into your life to become, get closer to that person you want to become. So, and the exact opposite can happen too. So if it's your habit of going out to the bar every night and drinking beer, even if it's 3 beers, okay, that was 3 beers multiplied by 5 is 15 beers a week, times 4 weeks a month is 60, times 52 weeks a year. You get the point. It's a compounding effect. If you're drinking 3 beers a night, what's a compound effect of doing that for 5 years straight versus replacing that hour to hour and a half of time you were spending watching TV or whatever, and replacing that with reading a book. Now, I don't want you to get super extreme here by any means. Like, I'm not saying like you got to do this or you're a freaking loser. Like, I watch TV, I do drink beer, I eat junk food, I scroll through social media. Like, I'm not saying to eliminate things out of your life. That's great if you want to, but I'm saying think about little habits in your life that can transform the way your brain works and compound into helping you get into the direction you want to. So hopefully this helps for you guys. And if you guys ever want to talk about habits and business and just personal development and stuff like that, reach out to me. A couple books I recommend is Atomic Habits. That's where all this entire conversation came from. Was I just regurgitated the book stuff I learned in the book. Start there and let me know how you like it. And I hope you guys have a good rest of your day. Peace out.